What's up guys, DreamcastGuy here. So I've been studying different horror games a lot lately and wanted to do my own theory video on the origins of Pryamid Head. Now, everybody loves Pryamid Head. He's in the movies, he's in a lot of the games, he's in the comic books, but people always wonder, where did he come from? There are three primary theories as to his origin, and I'm going to be adding my own on at the end. So stay tuned to tell me what you guys think. Theory number 1, Travis Grady. Travis Grady is the protagonist of Silent Hill Origins, but what makes people think him such a strong candidate for being the true Pryamid Head is the Butcher. The monster that hunts him throughout the majority of the game is heavily implied to actually be his dark side, possibly that Travis Grady is the local serial killer who's been killing so many people, and his own repressed memories and anger pent up inside has created the Butcher, a man with half a face, a hole inside of his head so that sound can seep in, and a blade so large that it cleaves everything in half instantly. People think that possibly Travis Grady's acceptance of the Butcher as a part of himself completes the mask and therefore makes him the true Pryamid Head. An interesting side note to this theory is that at the very beginning of the game, when you're technically in the real world, before you've actually entered the Silent Hill fog world, when he's breaking into the house of Alyssa Gillespie to try and save her from the flames, we actually see a painting of Pryamid Head on the wall, and it says, if you examine it, that he wants to, quote, stop and look. Is this some sort of appeal? Is this saying that this is what he truly is? Or is it possible that the Pryamid Head existed before Travis Grady? Fans of the Travis Grady theory also point to the fact that you actually collect pyramids throughout the game. Each boss you defeat relinquishes a small triangular object, and when all of them are combined, they become a great pyramid called the Floros, which opens up a portal for the old god to come through, which you fight as the last boss. The one primary thing that completely unravels this theory, though, is the fact that we know Travis Grady got out for two major points. In the good ending, we see Travis Grady leaving town, and we see Alyssa holding Cheryl Mason as a baby, thus leading directly into the events of Silent Hill 1. Also, we see in the canon ending of Silent Hill Homecoming him interacting with that protagonist. So we know for a fact that Travis Grady got out of Silent Hill. He can't be out of Silent Hill and also be Pryamid Head. I believe the only person who can be Pryamid Head stays there. They are stuck there, they're a construct, and maybe they have the ability to leave, but they definitely choose to stay. Now let's move on to the next theory. The second theory we'll be going over is the old god theory, that Pryamid Head is in fact just a part of the town, a fallen angel much like Vatil. Vatil is a person we've seen in Silent Hill 3 and also in the Silent Hill Revelations movie, which we won't be going into because that movie is a steaming pile of period blood. But Vatil nonetheless does have very similar garb. He has bloody gloves on, he's got a butcher's apron, but instead of having a large pyramid-shaped head, he has a large, scarred-up face. It looks horribly disfigured, and he moves extremely quickly, whereas the Pryamid Head we see moves very, very slowly. People still think, though, that they could be some facets of the same god, or they could both be fallen angels of the Vatil sect. In fact, the Vatil followers even wear large pyramid-shaped hoods when they're doing their executions, almost making people think that possibly their anger, their thirst and love for violence for this dark god may have created Pryamid Head himself. Now, although this theory does sound really good, my main thing that I think completely unravels it is the fact that we see so many different versions of Pryamid Head and numbers of Pryamid Head, whereas Vatil we only see one at a time, so I don't believe they are both fallen angels. Vatil definitely is some sort of angel. In all the writings they say that's what he is, and it even says in the writings about him that all that look upon him see him in a different form. So if we were just seeing one Pryamid Head in different outfits and different garbs and wielding different weapons, I would be on board. But the fact that in so many of the comics we actually see hundreds of Pryamid Heads running around, it seems a little weird to think of it as just one fallen angel that is splitting itself so many times. Alright, let's move on to the next theory. The theory we're going over now is the most widely accepted fan theory. This is in every blog. If you go to the Wikipedia, this is the theory that people propose. And we're going to go over all the things that make sense about it before I try and dismantle and rebuke it as best I can. Now, this theory states that Pryamid Head is a physical manifestation of James Sunderland's guilt for killing his wife, Mary. The strongest arguments for this are the fact that it seems as if Pryamid Head is just following James Sunderland throughout all of Silent Hill 2, just trying to get him to literally face his demons, which in this case is Pryamid Head. The way they do this is over and over again. We see Maria, who is James Sunderland's manifestation of all the cool, fun, sexy things about his wife, being murdered over and over and over again by Pryamid Head. Almost as if Pryamid Head keeps being like, I can kill this, you can kill that. I am pure violence, you are passive, but we contain the same ingredients. Maria contains all the ingredients of your wife. All of the memories of your wife are in this person as well as they were in her. And I can kill her over and over. Admit what you have done. And finally, when James does face the fact that he did kill his wife, and he admits it, he chooses to fight Pryamid Head. So at the end, once he admits to himself, I know what I've done, I accept my sins, that's when the Pryamid Heads kill themselves, because their only use was to reveal truth, and once they know it, they're unmade by it. Now, by far the greatest flaw in this theory, as good as it is the fact that we see Pryamid Head in so many other parts of the canon Silent Hill universe. Whereas in the rest of the Silent Hill universe, every time a new person enters Silent Hill, all the monsters form themselves around their personal demons. Except for Pryamid Head. We see Pryamid Head at the end of Silent Hill Downpour. We see him several times in Silent Hill Homecoming. We see him and versions of him in almost all the comics. He even has his own standalone comic strip called White Hunter that shows him between worlds, between visitors of Silent Hill. He just stands there and waits. Now, why is it that there's that one creature that exists simply to hunt James Sunderland? Because that's not what it is. That's not what his point is. And now we go to my theory. James Sunderland is Pryamid Head. And I don't mean that in a metaphorical sense. I mean physically, the James Sunderland we knew at the beginning of Silent Hill 2 becomes Pryamid Head now and forever in Silent Hill at the end of Silent Hill 2. All the other protagonists from all the other games are referenced in the extended media. We see where they go. We see what's happened to them after they've conquered their own demons in Silent Hill. Except for James Sunderland. In Silent Hill 4, they even reference the fact that a detective worked on investigating the case of a man named James Sunderland who just disappeared in Silent Hill. Only James doesn't make it out of it alive. The original creators all believe in what's called the water ending, where at the end he chooses to drown himself, which is ironic because he even promises Angela that under no circumstances would he ever commit suicide. And I think this is part of why he embraces becoming truly the Red Pyramid, because he's given up on everything. He no longer has Mary in this ending. He has no life. He's embracing the darkness of the place in a way that nobody else has. In the comics, we see that certain people are able to draw upon the power of Silent Hill and actually harness it. And dying inside, we see a child that was sacrificed in Silent Hill actually drew upon the power, created demons, and started literally controlling a whole army of monsters in her own personal dimension of Silent Hill, drawing in her old enemies one at a time and hunting them down in the city for fun. That's amazing. But it also reminds me of the fact that other people were also drawn to Silent Hill when James Sunderland went there. Eddie Dobrowski, when he was there, was drawn by James Sunderland's power. James Sunderland went there as a man and stayed there as a god. He embraced the power of Silent Hill. He submits himself through suicide to truly become the darkness that the city needs. He embraces the power of the old gods to truly shed all of what he was and become the true physical embodiment of the real Pyramid Head. He still has the ability to replicate himself. We do see several Pyramid Heads at one time in the comics, but I think that there is one true Pyramid Head. The Pyramid Head we see in the White Hunter comic. In those 6 panels, we see that Pyramid Head waits just to dish out judgment. He waits, and he kills, and he waits. Because that's all James Sunderland knows. He waits, and he seeks retribution for the crimes he has done and crimes he's seen others doing. This has been Dreamcast Guy. If you liked this, share it somewhere. It was so much fun making this. But check out my other videos. I do a lot of music videos, debates, and theory videos. So please subscribe and share it somewhere. But as always, keep dreaming.